Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of No More Operator. Today we got the Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 252 spoilers. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you want to continue seeing content like this in your feed, and thank you very much for watching. We've got a pretty big and crazy MAKI chapter today, but most importantly, we start the chapter with cutting back really quickly to Kusakabe and Ino sitting outside of Yuta's domain. Kusakabe and Ino are basically confirming that Yuta was able to move the coordinates of his domain into a very optimal place for them to jump in if they need to, which harks back to Hikari and Kashimo's fight where Hikari was able to do basically the same thing. It's actually revealed that the plan was for Yuta to fail all along and have his domain break on purpose in order to fool Sukuna into a false sense of security. That's why they've got MAKI waiting outside, ready to jump in and snipe the man. Ino admits he probably would have rather been inside the domain and fighting Sukuna because he feels like he could have done a better job, and even recommends that they jump in after MAKI to do some serious damage. But in Kusakabe-like fashion, the man just pretends to not hear Ino and cheers on MAKI. So again, the plan was to always have Yuta's domain break here. It's actually him signaling that Sukuna is ready to be sniped by MAKI, so all is going according to plan. For once, it seems, in this whole damn finale. Surprisingly, after a break week, we do have an unfinished panel here of Wee teleporting to try and catch Yuta because Rika is carrying Yuta off, while meanwhile MAKI is stabbing Sukuna all Toji Gojo style, which absolutely love that callback, by the way. We did have a break week, but I'm not sure what caused it. I do know Jujutsu Kaisen has a color page and everything like that, so maybe Gege was a little busy working on all of that stuff. But Sukuna does confirm that Yuta broke his domain on purpose on his end as well, proving that Yuta did not die thanks to the world bisecting cleave, which I'm not sure if that means Yuta has more durability than Kashimo. Sukuna's world bisecting cleave was lower output and therefore didn't do the same kind of damage it did against Kashimo. Alls I know is, as a Kashimo fan, this does hurt. But as a Yuta fan, at the same time, in the other glass, pretty full right now. Unfortunately, MAKI could not cut Sukuna in half with the Soul Split blade. However, it is fully confirmed that the soul damage cannot be healed by reverse curse technique by average means. As we'll find out later, reverse curse technique is basically a result of being able to visualize healing your wounds. So because Sukuna is able to actually visualize the outline of his soul, he does know how to heal the soul, but most people would not. Now, that doesn't mean that Sukuna's having an easy time doing it, because as it's also confirmed, because of the battle against Gojo, as we know, Sukuna's very low output, he can't cast domain, his reverse curse technique is very slow right now, so it's even harder for him to heal that stab wound that he just got from MAKI. Either way, we got the full confirmation, soul damage cannot at least be easily healed by normal means. You have to be able to visualize the outline of your soul. So basically, only people like Yuji and Sukuna can do it. Speaking of which, Yuji is also down for the count because a combination of healing himself wrong and not properly visualizing how to use reverse curse technique, as well as blood manipulation and everything that he's been doing, is finally catching up to him. He just starts coughing up blood. But another big reveal that we get this chapter is that Choso is all okay, thank God. I know a lot of us weren't really worried, but I just needed to see that he was okay just to make sure. And he is, and he's there to coach his brother through all of this pain and help him reverse curse technique himself back to full health. Meanwhile, MAKI and Sukuna are just scrapping in the background, and I'm sorry, but anyone that was talking down against MAKI, saying that she only really held up against the original version of Sukuna Megami because he was low energy output, yeah, let's take that back right now, because our girl is doing numbers today. And I mean to the point that Sukuna literally catches MAKI's sword swing, and MAKI is whipping Sukuna's whole body weight around with the sword like he's a paperweight. Haters will try to deny it, and I know agenda lines are drawn in the sand already because we're steadily approaching the end of the series and everyone wants their special character to do the best, but give MAKI her props. God damn, the second coming of Toji is definitely making an impact. And speaking of MAKI glow-ups, something that a lot of people have hinted at and theorized since we got the whole extrasensory thing with MAKI and her whole seeing but not really seeing against Cursed Spirit Naoya, a lot of people were theorizing MAKI could potentially see, dismantle, and cleave like Mahoraga, And we basically might have gotten our confirmation here, where Sukuna does throw a couple pieces of debris, and in the middle of the smackdown between the two, he tries to sneakily send a slash over to Maki, and she dodges that shit. Now, this wasn't the world bisecting cleave, even though Sukuna did pre-chant, like he only did half of it, but either way, holy crap. Sukuna admits that he feels like he's back in Shibuya facing Maharaga, or at least something very similar to that kind of challenge of fight, which, more Maki glow up, we absolutely love it, and it's basically confirmed that Maki did do some serious damage when she stabbed him prior. She actually stabbed him right through the heart, but because Sukuna is, well, Sukuna, he is literally just using cursed energy to forcibly continually beat his heart. It's basically said that this is how he survived when he took Yuji's heart out all the way back in Fearsome Wumark. But as per usual, just as it's beginning to get good, Gege cuts away to the fight between Hikari and Arame, and honestly, I'm not mad because this is one of my favorite fights, but again, it's just a tease basically because we don't see anything. It's just Hikari and Arame in the middle of their fight. Hikari's on an ice field, and he's basically saying that he thought Sukuna's overall presence and aura would be scarier, but it seems like he's getting beat up. But Arame corrects him and says, actually, the reason why you feel that way is because Sukuna has not yet even felt any interest in any of his opponents so far. None of you have even brought anything to the table like Gojo did, and you should all be ashamed of yourself. And we get this scary looking panel of just darkened by shadow Heian-era Sukuna, who, I mean, I don't even know what to say. That kind of scares me. Is he not taking us seriously? Is he going to show us Fuga and that's going to change the entire landscape of everything? Something tells me Kusakabe didn't bring it up a couple chapters ago just for it to be a nothing burger. So if Sukuna really is hiding something, I'm really terrified to find out what that might be. But anyway, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in to this awesome spoiler summary. Got a great chapter, a nice Maki chapter for us. Maki haters will be mad, but it is what it is. Thank you all so much for watching this. If you want some more Jujutsu Kaisen content or anime manga content in general, feel free to check out the main channel. It should be showing up here for you, or check out an end screen video to continue your late night binge. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.